everybody, the new phone books are coming out. Hey!
Best time of year.
It's the best time of year, isn't it? What's really? Now, granted, there are still people who use phone books for sure. I mean, there's a certain segment of the population that is not computer literate, doesn't have iPhones, doesn't have whatever, that still do use phone books. So there's a necessity for it. However, that's becoming like this big, isn't it? Like, it's just funny. The new phone books are coming out. I don't want one delivered to my door anymore because it just goes straight.
How do I opt out of that? It's funny. They say in journalism, they say that newspapers get skinny before they die, and like you've seen the phone books go from two huge things to like, ooh, looks like the ones from like Dauphin, it wasn't just from Dauphin, it was like all the small towns in the area into one little the parkland.
The parkland area.
Yeah, it's shocking to me. What's interesting to me is that the whole reason it exists is because people advertise in it. It's a money-making, not scheme, it's a money-making business for Yellow Pages. And so what's shocking to me is that people still think that it is a good business choice to advertise in there.
Well, I guess it's all about who you're targeting, right? I mean, if you're looking for it, because, let's face it, for the most part, it's the older crowd that still, I don't want to say lives by the phone book, but really uses it, you know what I mean? So I guess the people that are advertising in there now may be targeting more toward that kind of market, whereas I don't think you're seeing the same kinds of companies investing in those advertisements as there used to be.
Well, but I do think that there's probably some smaller mom and pop businesses that have always advertised. They've always allotted, whatever, a couple $1,000s for their Yellow Pages ad, and they just do it year over year over year, and that's it. You don't even think about it. You just do it. And especially if you're maybe not a business that's a progressive kind of business, you just have been doing the same business all the time. Maybe you don't realize that perhaps it's not a worthwhile investment anymore, that you could put that money towards something else.
And it does, and I think you're right, it does still work for some people, because I think pizza places, I know it's been a few years since I worked at a pizza joint, but when I did, that was like so many customers coming in with those Yellow Page coupons ripped out, right? But I don't know, can't you just as easily get them online now if you wanted to do?
You know what, though, I do find that it was easier to find things in the phone book than it can be online. If you're searching for someone, if you type in their name and you want a phone number, you're not necessarily going to find anything, whereas that phone book was reliable. I want to find Kay Casher, I just open, I'm probably going to find her. Obviously not a cell phone number, but an address. An address for sure.
But is that, let's talk about whether that's a good thing or not.
That is a good thing. It's like going to the library and finding a book using the indexes.
So you want people that don't know you and you've not given your phone number and address out to, you want them to be able to find your address.
It was fine for decades.
Yeah.
Was it?
Sure, why? Did you hear a lot
I had creepy people come by my place one time when I was younger and drop stuff off in my mailbox. And
for you?
Yeah, for me, yeah.
I wasn't in the phone book. I was a kid. I wasn't.
Well, my parents were, and they knew sort of what area I lived in. I don't think if there's someone whose name I know but whose phone number and address I don't know that I should be able to get that information out of a book. I think that's creepy. I think we're in a day and age where if I need to be able to contact someone, I just ask for their phone number, and if I don't have any way of getting in contact with them, then looking in a book is a sort of a creepy way to be able to get that information.
Oh, see, as having worked many different journalism jobs, the phone book was the Bible. You go, something happens, a fire breaks out, whatever, you need to find a person, open it up, M. Clinton, and you call every M. Clinton in the book.
Every single one of them. Oh, those are not good days.
But it wasn't fun, but it was, you found the people you were looking for almost exclusively, and if you didn't find them, you probably found their cousin or their...
And they put you on to the next
person. It's different now. To try to track people down, it's a lot different. Now,
there's Facebook now, and there's Twitter, and
the necessity for journalists is different, I suppose, than the necessity for the general public.
Yes.
But
the telephone book is still good for postal codes when you do have to mail something.
Well, you can just CanadaPost.ca, I will say.
What do you mean by mail something?
Well, you know what? Following your little case in point about finding something faster in the phone book, that actually happened the other weekend. We had a musician here, and he's in from Toronto, and in his travels here, hit a deer. So totaled the front end of his car, and he needed to go to a body shop. So cameraman John McClure was with me. He says, I just know of an auto body shop, and he said, I'll go online and find the phone number. Well, I ran to the phone book, and I got the number first.
Well, see, and it
but
can work.
Anything like, and in odd situations,
I do know that cameraman Rudy uses it to raise his dinner plate up because he's got a low coffee table. So he, if he wants to sit and watch the Blue Jays game and eat dinner, he uses that.
I
So
think
that's
it's
helpful.
that kind of function and others like it that I'm really sad that the phone books are disappearing.
Yes.
Like, I'm newly single, and I'm going to use these new batch of phone books to go and prove how strong I am to girls by ripping them in half.
Nice. That's a
Yeah,
good
exactly. I think so, for sure.
Grand gesture.
And if
So
it
it's getting
wasn't for
easier
those,
now.
well, it's getting a lot easier. Yeah.
Because they're going to think it's the old phone books, like the old thick phone books, and you're just going to tear it in half.
Yeah.
And
Well, actually, more accurately, what I'm going to do is try and tear it even a little bit, and then curl up in a ball and cry because I realize that I can't. And girls really like sensitive guys. So I think that's
what happened to your Get Fit with Jay segment that started like a year and a half
Yeah, I
ago?
know.
That
He's
didn't
too
you-
fit. Went away. I'm
evidently.
so fit now.
Well, when I saw you eat that hot dog with sauerkraut yesterday, I was like, that is one fit dude.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
Girls love that. Girls love that. Anyway, in any case, yes. So, well, look for your new phone book. How many of us are going to just put it right in the recycling
Mine's already in
bin?
the recycling bin. Although, Jeff Bromley, I think. Jeff, you said you use it for starting fires.
It's a good idea.
I'm gonna throw it in the back of my trunk.
Not the worst.
Start a fire.
In the back of your trunk?
Really?
Yeah, in my car.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't start fires in my house.
Oh,
I
good.
go
Okay,
when
that
I go
makes sense.
True
camping.
enough. Okay. Well, I was like, but I guess starting a
Extrapolate,
fire in your
Magic,
car is not.
That's not good either. No.
Well,
camping.
with that, maybe everyone will be lighting some fires this May long weekend, unless it rains, which is the forecast, so probably no fires. But everyone have a good May long weekend anyway, and we'll see you here next week.